listening to my old talk show BioRhythms, which featured 101 interviews with stellar personalities. I'm very pleased to announce that I'm bringing back a very special edition of BioRhythms to reintroduce you to Alisha M'Jestie Brooks, a multi-platinum singer-songwriter who wrote Rihanna's first hit, Pon de Replay. I'm also ecstatic to share that M'Jestie will be providing the music for my upcoming gun violence prevention short film, Chambermaid. But let me tell you just a little bit more about Alisha M'Jestie Brooks. Her music speaks to the conscious revolution of art, social justice, civil rights, and self-exploration. It is a compelling and dynamic synthesis of styles like hip-hop, pop, soul, and blues, all created to create an original sound that is at once unapologetically disruptive and bold. Again, I'm very pleased to reintroduce you to Alisha M'Jestie Brooks. I'd like for you to talk a little bit about how you got started in your career, and I know we've had that kind of conversation, but I'd be very interested in you sharing it again.
Oh, yes. Music always been a part of my childhood growing up, so it's something that was always important to me, and living in New Jersey, there was always something to inspire me.
I can imagine.
Yeah, so as I would ride public transportation to get around the city, I would always see things out the window that always just, some perplexed me, some things inspired me, but a song would always come into my mind. So I got my start riding public transportation and singing on the bus.
Those things that influence you to write, those things that perplex you as well as engage you, did you find writing to be a very nice, almost even a therapeutic tool, something to deal with all that you saw?
It was necessary, I would say. Music kind of poured from me. So it was almost like I would see something and I would hear the song.
Right.
Right. So it was almost like it's like if you had to do it. You had to get the song out. You have to get the music out.
I've often shared with folks how your experience of riding the bus, and you had they became your fans on the bus because you would see them, because you were on pretty much the same schedule, so you would see the same people.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, riding with just this how you get around. I started working fairly early. I had my son when I was early, so I wasn't in high school like my other friends. Okay. I was already on the regular public bus going to work. Right. And so people, I met a guy named Big John, and he would just beatbox. And we met one day, and he's actually the first person I ever said my name is M'Jestie to. Like when I did my name change, it was like, "Hi, I'm M'Jestie," and I said it with my chest. And he could beatbox. Okay. And it was just a natural process. It was like he would beatbox, and I would just start singing. It'd be a song I maybe worked on the day before, or an idea I had, and we had this beautiful chemistry. And then it would start off with just the people around us would kind of hear, and people weren't trying to be nosy. They just want, they could hear us, and we weren't trying to be loud. It just was happening, and over time, it was like the bus driver was like, "Here she comes." Or you get on the bus and it's like the bus has started to kind of celebrate, like, "Hey, y'all, we're ready to start the show." And it wasn't necessarily on purpose. It was just a natural thing.
That's a great scene to reenact for a film, to tell the story of your life.
That would be great. Yeah, I would love to tell it.
Really, that's a fantastic story. It really truly is, and I think a lot of people will find it inspirational. Yeah. So how did you choose the name M'Jestie?
How did I
choose the name M'Jestie?
Choose the name M'Jestie. Oh, wow. Yeah, so I start off with Kiki B. My middle name is Kiana. Okay. So Alisha Kiana Brooks. And so I'm like Kiki B for the time I was like 8 till, my early teens. Teenagers, they go through change.
Excuse me, you had a brand name starting at the age of 8.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah.
So you're already...
I was already a celebrity. Yeah. In my mind, I could walk into any room and I felt like a celebrity. It was just something that you have in you. I don't know where it came from. I just felt that way. So I was always writing, and so Kiki B was my stage name. And as a teenager, I said, it's time for a change. I'm growing up. And I just sat for days just scribbling on paper. And one day it was like Majesty, Majesty. And I'm like, Majesty, that's like, I'm very humble. So I felt like it was a big name for me, especially at that time. Mm-hmm. I could probably accept it now, but then, especially then, it was too soon. So I started to play with the spelling, and I'm like, this is, I don't know, maybe if I just tweak this a little bit and tweak that a little bit, take out the A, take out the Y, and I just repronounced it as M'Jestie. And it fit better. It was a more humble thing. So it's like not true blue majestic, just a little bit M'Jestie, I think was the rap line I had for that, coming up with that name.
So you started writing and you got so much attention apparently because your writing began to just take off.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I caught the attention of David Pitt Conley from a group called Surface.
Okay. And
that was incredible. I got to come to Virginia, which is why I was able to come to Virginia, and started working with him out of Hampton, Newport News. So that's where I was on Mercury Boulevard, 9601. And we just tried to create a sound, and before you know it, within a year, I was working with Damon Dash, Rockefeller Records, and then within a year of that, working with P. Diddy for One Occurrence, and then after that, Pon de Replay just kind of took off. So it just was it was like boom, 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 from 2001 until the release in 2005.
So you worked with, you wrote for Rihanna and then some of the other people that you wrote for?
Yeah.
Some of the other folks.
So the Damon Dash thing was a Victoria Beckham thing with the Spice Girls. You know, they were huge back in the day, and Victoria Beckham was doing her kind of switch over to hip hop, and Damon Dash, I think, was kind of separated from Jay-Z and trying to find his own voice. Mm-hmm. So I kind of walked in right in the middle of that, and that was great. And an artist named Sherry Dennis, who was over at Bad Boy, which is how I got in with Diddy. I did a song that he really liked, and so he wanted to kind of use it for an artist named Sherry Dennis. And those things they didn't do as well. You know, you get your first chance, you want it to do great, and it didn't do so great. But I just kept going with a little tenacity. That next year, I penned a song, and before you know it, it was Rihanna. At the time, her name was Robin. She hadn't changed over to Rihanna yet. It was just her going into audition and trying to get a record deal, and I just happened to have the right song.
That's just a great story. You know, again, there needs to be a film about your life.
Oh, that would be an honor.
Yeah. So speaking of film, you know, I approached you about Chambermaid.
Yes.
What inspired you? What prompted you to get involved in the Chambermaid project? Or again, a project that's dealing with gun violence.
Well, to be honest, the first thing was you. You were amazing, and I've wanted to work with you for a while. So that's incredible. Yeah. So thank you for the work that you do in the community. Also, I love community work. I love to speak of the times. Like I said, when I first started, I would just ride around the neighborhood and just see things and say, wow, this is a song that's coming to me. And so during the movement back, Black Lives Matter movement, the George Floyd, the Trayvon Martin, all of that was, it pulled at my heartstrings in a different way. Because I was going through my own spiritual awakening, but realizing that I was getting angry. And as I watched the rest of the world get angry, it's like if I'm going through my awakening, I can't really just be angry. I have to transcend, I have to transmute, I have to figure out how to be an alchemist through this whole thing. So I had a lot of music I'd written then that I never really put out because I didn't want to be a part of the, I'm just complaining energy. I wanted to do something that would rise above it and possibly help someone. So I've had music for a little while that has spoken to this kind of thing. Growing up in Jersey, you know, you kind of get this, the news, you get New York news, and it's always a shooting, it's always some violence, and I think we get tired of it. And so learning to transcend is a beautiful thing, but the reality is these things are really still happening. And so I think your film is bringing forth an opportunity to talk about and to kind of share my perspective without it necessarily being my perspective, more of the movie's perspective. Does that make sense?
What do you think is this is a huge question, and I don't know that there's any real solution because there are a number of people that have talked about addressing this extraordinary gun violence rate in the African American community. And speaking of transcending things, how do you think we should best deal with it? How do you think we can deal with that? I know that's a tough question, and it's a huge question.
Yeah, it's huge. I've spent some time, I've realized, unfortunately, it comes back to us being selfish, almost being focused on self more, going back to the healing of self. I think the more we heal ourselves, the more we can heal our households, the people around us, the more we can lead by example. That's kind of really the only thing I would say is, how do we transcend any kind of pain? It's like we have to go back, we have to look at it with new lenses, change our perspective, and hope for an alchemical change that changes who we are from the inside. And then raising a certain vibration so that we can share that vibration with others seems to be, to me, the only way, because we only have control over ourselves. I can only heal myself. I can't mourn enough to make any mother's grief less painful. So I can see it and be compassionate, but I don't have to embody it.
Understood.
I can transmute it in my own way and possibly lead to more peace in my own life and inspire someone to say, hey, I want that smile that you're carrying.
Did you see much of the violence in Jersey?
Worse, I heard about all of it. So in my household, it became the cancer in my household. It became the gun in my house, because I lived in New Jersey my whole life. I never saw any violence. I never saw anyone get shot. I never saw anyone get killed. But the fear of it had come into my home so strongly that I was a victim of it in a way where I couldn't go outside and play. I couldn't be in a community. I didn't have friends next door. Anywhere I went, I would be nervous because I'm like, oh, they're gonna shoot. So for me, I took it very, very personally. I didn't really know how to find peace within my community, which I think is a bigger thing that we don't really talk about. But I think our nervous systems as Black people, or people who grow up in at-risk communities, there's a lot to be talked about, because on a cellular level, we suffer. Even if we're not seeing gun violence, we're experiencing it.
A great motivation for and I think I shared this with you, for the concept of this piece, is a young gentleman, a young brother that I was counseling in jail, who told me that he was addicted to shooting people. What would you say to a general statement to address the gun violence in our community, amongst the young people particularly?
What would I say? I would say there's more. I would have to, because I don't think that many people know that there's more to life than what they're looking at. I think people think that this table is real. They think that, life, working, going to work, you gotta do this, live this life, you gotta go to college, I think they think that that's it. But if there's a great invisible library beyond, that if we can get in a certain state of peace and reckoning with our past and with our pain, that we can kind of become superheroes and see beyond the illusion of this physical life. I think people who become so desperate, I think they think that this is all there is. So I would love to begin to expand the awareness, expand the consciousness, expand people's vision, if they can get there, but letting them know, because I think they've heard everything else, but maybe that might be something a little new that may intrigue something.
Do you ever feel, M'Jestie, that when you're talking that you are composing lyrics? No. Because as I sit here talking to you, I hear you say certain things that are very poetic by their nature. You made a reference to invisible libraries, so that must be a profound feeling for you to come up with words like that, and are you inspired by some of the things that you just say in normal conversation?
I'm inspired by the things that inspire me. I feel like I get a lot of information, and to be able to dig deeper into that information and then to find out, oh, that's really a thing that's happening in the world. I just love God. I love the invisible. I love just being whole. Does that make sense?
And unfortunately, that's the problem with a lot of these young people that are doing this. They do not feel whole.
Yeah.
And some of them, of course, they don't see that they will be living beyond the age of the mid-20s or the 30s or something. And that's really truly very tragic.
Yeah. I love the work that I was able to do in the community. I think it's important. I believe that communities need programs for young people. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I appreciate the work that you're doing. One of the things I love about what you're doing with this film, and I know you kind of asked me another question, but with this film, I want to bring it up again. I love how you're bridging reality with the spiritual concept of just because you think just because it's in front of you today, you think it's gone tomorrow, anything can come back to haunt you from that side. I think that was really, really beautiful how you played for the movie. I think it's a beautiful piece.
You know, as I'm sure you can relate, as you just shared your testimony, your own personal testimony, you know, the creative experience is one that is inherent in my spirit as it is so conspicuously with you.
Yeah. So spirit is with us,
So that's one thing I learned about this particular film. This is a gun violence prevention film. I'm trying to use the word filming more than shooting. You know?
Yes. That's all a part of mindfulness.
Yes.
It's all a part of it's all a part of remapping our vocabulary, the way we think, the way we feel, the energy around words. Yeah, I like that.
So you've multi-platinum. What other kind of awards?
Oh, we just hit 1 billion streams yesterday. We hit over 1 billion yesterday.
Oh, wow.
For Pon de Replay, Rihanna. And they just started calculating streams. Obviously, if this was 2005, we would have hit it a long time ago. But just in today, just on the Music AI little app, it was beautiful to watch it happen and see it come to 1 billion streams. Yeah. Over 1 billion streams. So I just got the alert yesterday. And actually today is the 19-year anniversary of Pon de Replay.
Well, thank you so very much, sister. I appreciate it.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.
Likewise.
Absolutely. God bless you.
Yeah, God bless you. You guys are heading back tomorrow.
I love working with kids because it's really hard to make positive music that's not corny. Not a lot of people can do it, but it's a gift that God has given me. I'm very connected with my inner child, and I'm able to express. So there are some things going on in the world, and I try to find a fun way to talk about it. This song is called True. And I took it out the set, but by popular demand, it has returned. So let me try to not do it and see what happens. You ready, Kelly?
One time for the get down.
Baby, if you hear me, stop what you doing.
If you hear me, stop what you doing.
I feel like I'm on the playground. Everybody in the country, this is how we do it on the playground. Let me see. We don't have a long time. We don't have a long time. Just came from the gym, but you still fat. Spent the hour on the verse, but it's still wet. Your lameness no cocaine, I can't feel that. I came to bring the pain like I was born black. I am the spectacular, master of vernacular. If you wish to diminish the skills, you need to back on up, son. I have been commissioned to bring love to everyone. I believe I can fly, and I am the divine, melanated, never plastic. Been the booty elastic. Science says I'm magic. Well, puffy magic dragging you a beast caught up in traffic. Don't you worry about a thing, cause ain't no thing to make it happen. Keep it clapping like the church folks. As we commence to hit the right notes. We ain't coming for the gold, man, we coming for your soul. Tell them play us on the radio. I feel like I'm on the playground. Everybody in the country, this is how we do it on the playground. Let me see. We don't have a long time. What is that? What? We don't have a long time. One time, sell it one time. Brick City to the NYC.
R.I.P. to all the little girls who died from drive-bys. Minority eyes shine with dreams just like mine. Just having fun in the summertime. If you ain't never heard it, then you hella blind. Hate crimes is on the rise, came to bring it to you guys. Sorry, but the revolution won't be televised this time. It's time to mention African princes, born fitting descriptions, no longer fit them. We battleshipping the system for him, and him, and him, and him, and him, and him, and while I'm talking y'all this. Yeah, just keep it clapping like the church votes. As we convention, hit the right notes. We ain't coming for the gold, man, we coming for your soul. Tell them play us on the radio. I feel like I'm on the playground, yeah. Everybody in the country, this how we do it on the playground, yeah. Let me see, let me see, let me see, yeah. If y'all ready for a revolution, we don't have a long, long time. Put your hands up for the what? We don't have a long, long time. Listen, listen, listen. We don't have a long, long time. Nah, we don't have a long, long time. We spread love like, spread love like, spreading love like. Yeah, we don't have a long, long time. Yeah, we don't have a long, long time. True. Thank y'all.